Hey guys, welcome back. So this will probably be a shorter video, but now the fuel system's actually done. So we built our last hose. We're going to film some of this in the process, but for other reasons we couldn't do it. So here she is. Got our fitting. We're not like torqued up, but everything's built. So let me give you a view looking at it this way. So you'll see that that hose actually goes uphill. That's intentional. So the way the car sits now, if the fuel like sloshes and goes up the tank, it could potentially go up through that fitting and turn and try to go this way. Well, if it does, it's got to go uphill for like a foot. So any fuel that like splashes might get into the hose, but it should just, gravity should just run back and drain into the tank. That way we don't like, say the tank's full and you hit a bump or it splashes. I don't want fuel just like pissing out of the car. So that's why that goes uphill for a ways. It's about a foot of hose. You can see pretty much from here all the way to the tank, that's uphill. So once it does that, then it turns and moves down, snakes through there. Let me see if I can get the camera in here. Oh, Jesus, maybe not. Okay, maybe here. Sorry, this is really difficult to film. But there's the piece. So it's bolted. I built a little bracket, bolted it to the bumper. That's our valve. Let's see if I can get you a better view. I'm not sure if I can or not. Oh, not really. Maybe. Okay, there it is. Maybe the underside? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it's down here towards the bottom of the car, but that's intentional because this is really low. So this is like, I could put my hand here, like, yeah, it's really close to concrete. It's one of the lowest points of the car. It's not the lowest, you can see that's lower. But the point is, right now it's a really low point in the car, but if the car were to flip on upside down, that would be a high point. Now fuel would have to come out of the tank and go uphill to get out. So anyway, just thought I'd explain that. That's intentional. And of course that blue piece is a valve that shuts anyway, but were the valve to fail and then the car flip upside down, it still should not piss fuel because the fuel would have to go uphill to escape. So that's kind of a little bit, maybe intrinsically is not the right word, but it's a redundant. Let's just go with that. Okay, another cool thing, I'll keep this brief, but my sweet little coil bracket. I sold one of these. So one of my fabulous, amazing subscribers saw this and said they had a use for it, so we just got our second bracket all whipped up and ready to ship out. I'll show you all that real quick. Yeah, so here's that bracket ready to go. Got all of our holes drilled and tapped. So these don't require a nut on the back side because all these holes are threaded. Wow, the focus is letting me down. But anyway, she's ready to go. We got the bolts, we got the spacers. We had to make all our spacers and stuff, but that's good to go. So yeah, if you guys ever need something like this, I'll have it on my eBay store. You're welcome to check it out. And of course, if you guys see any other ideas for, warning panels or, water pump, electric water pump conversion, there's all kinds of stuff. So feel free to check it out. All right, so I just checked our list. I see 3 things immediately that we need to work on that are not related to directly wiring the car, literally running wires. One is installing the kill switch. So mechanically it needs to be installed in the vehicle. It's going to go in the back somewhere. Got to figure that out. So that's on the list. Another one is our seat. So the seat's kind of in the car, but I got to put the harness in the car. And I got to go look up the rules and see if I actually purchased. I have the physical harness, but the way they install in the vehicle, you have to have like backing plates that they weld in or bolt in or something. I got to go look all that up or see if I already bought the stuff. I don't remember because it's been a while. So that's on the list. Here's the one I forgot about. That little plate osmosis has not installed it yet. So we got to figure out the brace because you can see here if I bend this, like that's moving. That's what that plate does. It gives you support. And I got to work on that. Put that on the car. That'll be fun. Let's see. There's one other thing. Oh yeah, I just remembered. So the last thing is the battery. So here's our box. There's our cell. We've got our cells. 16 volts, looking great. But you'll notice there's a little bit of a gap here, a little bit of a gap there, and all around, especially a big gap over here. So this battery box, there's going to be a bunch of wires that go into the box that connect to the post. That's fine. But I need this to be secured a little better. Right now it could move around. I don't like that. So we got to come up with something. Not sure yet, but I'm probably going to... My first thought is to look in here. I've probably got a box that has like some rigid foam or some kind of foam. I don't know. Probably have something. So maybe I can find some foam and just cut it out and stick some foam in here to kind of support this thing. I don't know. Could 3D print something. That sounds like a pain in the ass. Maybe I'll do that. But I just want it to be tight so that when you're driving around, this doesn't, shift or move. probably for safety reasons, it probably should be fixed. So those are the things we're going to work on. Guess we're going to go pick something and get to work. It's pretty late, but I think we're going to do a little more work before we knock off. Alright, so we started looking at this. This is actually the foam the battery came with when they shipped them. Funny enough, it comes in these little things. You can see where the individual cells are packaged. So maybe it's safe for batteries, I don't know. But this is kind of boring, who cares? I'm going to worry about that later. Alright, let's put the kill switch on the car. So here's our switch. Big, nasty, beefy switch. Got to switch the entire car, just per rules, NHRA rules. When you kill this switch, the alternator, the battery, everything that supplies power to the vehicle must be broken. So even like the big wire that just goes from the positive to the starter, it has to go through this. Literally the entire car has to be dead when you kill this. Okay, where are we going to put it? Well, I'll be honest. This spot is definitely in the running. Haven't ruled it out yet. But if you look at the way it would mount, see these two holes? I could put a bracket and keep it low. Maybe that wouldn't be that bad. I haven't really looked at this. Maybe that's not the worst option. Yeah, we'll think about that. I don't want to. I have to cut the metal if I do that to get it to go up a little bit. Wouldn't be that big of a cut. Well, you could just run it like this. It's kind of bumping there. Let's see what the backside looks like if we did that. It's not that bad. This spacing is kind of an issue. Yeah, see, I don't know, we're thinking about it. The other spot I was thinking was right here. So we've got metal, there's kind of a gap. We put this in roughly the middle, and we pull that back, kind of like this, then it would end up something like that. I don't know, I guess this would probably look better, since that already has a notch there. Anyway, we're going to think about it. But yeah, the problem with this, if I do bolts, I got to drill through the plastic, whereas here, there's like a gap, so I could actually do bolts and do a bracket that came down, and I wouldn't have to touch this plastic. That's what I like about putting it on this side. So we're going to think about it a little more, figure out a spot, but of course, no matter where we put it, we got to make sure that stays away from metal, because we don't need this shorting out. So, alright, let's see where we're going to do this. But it does need to be on the back of the car, and it's going to have to be labeled for on and off. So, let's figure it out. Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're working on electrical, and we're getting this together. So this is that panel. I made a few videos that nobody watched talking about how I designed this, but here it is going together. So we're looking at the back side of the panel. Let me flip it over. This is the upright position, what you see there. So generally speaking, battery volts and battery amps, 4 gauges, not really sure what those are, I forget. A bunch of switches, each one has an indicator light. This is the fan in automatic mode. So like when you flip this up, it says the fan's in auto, so you'll get a green light, and when it actually operates the fan, when the fan's running, you'll see this light turn on. Thought that was nice. Here's your starter button to crank the car up. That's about it on the front. Fairly simple. If we go back to the back side, so now we're looking at it upside down. We got a pair of relays. Not sure if that's enough. One of these is for the fan. I think one of them's for something else, and I don't remember. This is a solid state relay for the trans brake. That's our volt amps over here. These are fuse panels. So we got 8, 4, and 8 for a total of 20. We got 20 switches across, 1 fuse for each switch, 20 lamps, 1 for each switch. And then terminal blocks. These actually have more than, I put some extras because you may need some extra wires for things like inputs or grounds or something. So we got a few extra there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can probably appreciate this design. This can be worked on and serviced outside of the vehicle, which is really nice. That's why we did it this way. So that's a pretty cool feature. So we can actually go ahead, I gotta pull my diagrams, but these wires, like say this here, loops to this, through the switch, this comes out and runs over to here, and then this also has like one of these that's gonna tie in, so when you flip the switch, the lamp turns on, so we gotta figure that out and ground all these lights. But yeah, we're gonna get to work on this. The only thing I forgot when I bought these lamps, they wouldn't let me order the number I needed, so I forgot about it. I just ordered the last few. That's why those are missing. But we'll have them soon enough. A few days. So anyway, we're gonna keep going, but thought I'd show you guys how the electrical's going so far. Alright guys, so we're sitting in the driver's seat to film this. But we got our switch panel kind of bolted up. Now it's not finished. I'll reach the camera back here. So we built a bracket, and it's kind of hard to see. Maybe that shows it. It's just a piece of flat angle iron, bolted to the car, bolted to the panel. Now, this isn't totally done. If I push this, like you can see it's flopping around. And it's kind of hanging out over here. I don't think this is quite as big of a problem as it looks like, but the flopping around is a problem. So we're going to brace it, but not now, because we haven't run all the wires yet, and I'm not really sure. I got a general idea of where wires are going, but what I don't want to do is add a brace that happens to bolt into a spot where there's going to be a lot of wires, because it needs to be accessible. So we know it's going to get braced, but not yet. We'll do that towards the end. But this is where it's going to go. So we're sitting in the driver's seat, like here's looking out the windshield. Down here would be our gauges, and you can see we've already, these are showing up in our field of view. It's like here's our hand on the shifter, turn over here, there's our panel, so I can reach over here, just like that. That's my starter button, all the way over here, whatever that is. So pretty decent access. The shifter's in the middle, but you're not flipping switches when you're racing. This is before you race, so no big deal. Come over here, whatever you got to do. So I'm liking it, and like I said, I'm kind of holding the camera about where my eyes would be, so this is what it looks like from the driver's seat. You know, that bottom part's kind of restricted, but that's really on the backside where stuff's happening. The top half is what you're going to be looking at. So when you're racing, you know, here's kind of your view. And like I said, right here at the top, you know, you've got your gauges. So pretty good. I'm liking this. That actually went a lot faster than I thought. I thought this was going to be worse, which I know it's flopping around, so we're not really done, but I like it. Totally driver-centric, which is what I'm going for. So granted, now that that's done, that's our regular camera. Anyway, now that that's done, we're going to figure out where this panel goes, and then there's another panel that goes there. So we're going to work on those. Alright guys, check this out. I think we figured out how we're doing everything at this point. It's actually going to be easier and pretty cool. So we're messing around trying to figure out where to put stuff. We actually started with this guy. So the point is I want this green light to be right in the center. Something like that. I was going to put it back here, like right up against the windshield, although once the glass is in there, that'd be really hard to access. So maybe a little further out, because I do have to put like an Arduino and CAN bus shield and some other stuff on the backside and wire it all up. So that got me thinking. I'm like, okay, so maybe here, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought about that piece on the top, and I moved it around, and then I just kind of thought, I was like, what if I just put it right here? Now, at this point, these two could have been one panel, but it's not difficult to like make a tab and bolt these together. I started looking at it, and I was like, you know, that works pretty well. Because when you're driving the car like this, you know, this is like looking through the windshield. I mean, you can see this stuff. It's right there. Like, here's your shifter down here, you know, so you can see that, and it's angled to the driver, so that's pretty awesome. And then I caught this. If you put this, if this was tied together, it puts the lamp like right in the right spot. And this could all just be tied together as one big assembly. So that's it. That's what we're doing. I fucking love that. That is fantastic. So we're going to build some brackets and whatever, and that'll probably be in the next episode. But yeah, we're doing that because then all of this can be one giant assembly that could be removed and put in the car, taken out of the car. I really like it. This piece that goes here, once it's bolted in, it could be braced that way. And I noticed that this piece, once it's bolted in, can go straight that way and brace as well. So it'll be easy to brace all this and stiffen it up. And like I said, I love the idea of all the electrical being on like a giant panel. Makes it easy, because you could take this out of the car and work on it outside the car. Anyway, I love that. So that's what we're doing. And man, I gotta tell you, this is fucking sweet. I'm really liking this. We got our little wideband. This is it's from Baylinger Motorsports. It's an AFR 500. This is like a fancy smancy wideband. Works with methanol. It'll even do like, I forget what they call it. It's like extended range, but it'll essentially measure lambdas below 0.5. I forget how low it goes, but it's pretty low. You can run like AFRs of 3.5 on methanol, and this thing will pick it up and read that. Pretty cool. So we did something simple. Just did a piece of angle, bolted it in, and then zip tied it to make it extra secure, because they don't have any mounting. This gauge doesn't come with like any mounting tabs or anything, so had to do something to secure it. So zip tie it is. But yeah, I'm liking this. This is what we're going to do. I think we're about to knock off for the night. Kind of had enough. But the plan is, right now these are just kind of clamped together, but in the morning, build some tabs, bolt those two together, build some more tabs, bolt these two together and think about it for a little bit. I do want to do the bracing, but like I said, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I probably need to finish all the electrical and brace it at the end, even though I want to do it now. So we'll see. If there's any safe bracing I could do that I don't think would get in the way, I might do that. But this guy, we had decided, you know, that we were going to hook all this up. So we got to go get like our Arduino, our CAN bus, and start getting all that crap set up to hook all this up. So that's going to be a little mini project. We'd strongly considered not doing it, but man, I need to just do this. Even though I want to hurry up and get the car running, it really does need this. So we're going to do it. I think we're going to do it. I left all that crap at home because I did all the CAN bus testing to get it working at home. So we're going to knock off, grab all that, bring it up here tomorrow, and see if we can figure out, because this is just a panel, so we got more stuff to figure out to get, like, you know, a box or a bracket or something to integrate all the other pieces and parts to make that work. And not gonna lie, part of me is thinking about trying to modify this system, as in add another panel to like capture the ECU and just have literally every single electronic on the same assembly. I don't know if we're going to do that because I was just going to stick the MS3 Pro on the floorboard. And well, we may just do that, but it's something to think about. But anyway, we're going to knock off for the night. We've kind of had enough, and hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Always curious to see what y'all have to say. And I've also had some good ideas come through there as well, so thank you folks for that. And anyway, till next time, y'all take it easy. Okay, just kidding. So for the few people that watch these to the end, I do have a question. Do you guys have any recommendations for a good video editing software? I used to have one on my old computer, and you could like put clips in there and, you know, play it and then edit them, and it was pretty good. And I ended up with this, for some reason, I don't have it anymore. Windows like changed their crap and now it sucks. So I downloaded a couple free ones, and none of them are very good. And the one I'm using now, it'll let me combine stuff, but it's terrible. Like, it sucks. I need a good program. I mean, I can pay money. I don't want to like pay a fortune because my YouTube channel doesn't make any money, but I'd be willing to pay something for some good video editing software. Something that maybe not a super steep learning curve, but I just need basic functionality, like being able to go through a clip and say, hey, right here, pause, cut, you know, stitch in something else, that kind of stuff, just real basic. But if you guys have any recommendations, please let me know, because what I've got now sucks and I don't like it, and I need something better. Anyway, that's all I got. All right, guys, thank you for your help, and until next time, y'all take it easy. Oh yeah, one little quick thing to add. We put the kill switch on the car. Turned out simple. So there's actually a spot here. We just drilled it and bolted her up. But I like that. It's symmetric. It's up inside the bumper. So good stuff. Anyway, I just totally forgot about that, but we did that this morning, and that was a big one. So there's our battery, real close to the kill switch. So that's gonna be like 2 feet of wire. Keeps sufficient, you know. Don't have like long wires running everywhere, and it keeps all of this open because we may put something back here one day. All right, guys, for the third time, y'all take it easy.